Hello, welcome to English for Academic and Professional Purposes course. This is Andrea and I will be introducing to you the fundamentals of academic texts. Let us first differentiate academic writing from professional writing in terms of purpose, audience, and tone of voice. The purpose of academic writing is to showcase your research expertise, while professional writing aims to persuade its audience about something. In academic writing, your expected audience includes the people in the academe. They are the professors, students, researchers, scientists, and the like. On the other hand, your colleagues, business people, managers, and clients are the possible audience when you do professional writing. Lastly, in terms of the tone of voice, academic writing uses the third-person point of view. For example, we notice it when we read research papers. The author writes, "The researchers found out." While in professional writing, they use the first-person point of view to sound more personal. Now, let's define what academic writing is. Academic writing is written for scholarly purposes and having in mind the university as the audience. Examples of this type of writing are theses, academic papers, books, and the like. While professional writing is written for business or applied setting, this setting includes the company, hospitals, courtroom, or a factory. Moving on, let's discuss deeper what academic writing is. In academic writing, you know that your audience is knowledgeable on the subject matter at hand. With that, as a writer, you are expected to know better than your readers. It is also said that academic writing requires thinking, meaning you should not say whatever comes to your mind, but you have to think about it carefully first. Also, academic writing has a set of rules that writers need to follow. Unlike in other types of writing where you can freely write whatever you want, academic writing is strict when it comes to rules. Write in language appropriate and formal but not too pretentious. It means that you have to know your audience so you could choose your words properly. Avoid using highfalutin words just to impress your readers. There should be valid evidence for every claim. When you state your claim, make sure you can back it up with evidence to make it sound valid. In academic writing, hearsay is not encouraged. Next, the writer must be careful about writing. Thus, research is required. Your audience is reading your paper because they seek answers to the questions they have in mind. Therefore, as a writer, you must be responsible to what you are writing. You need thorough research before publishing your paper. Think about your readers when you are writing. It's easier to write when you know your target audience. You can easily choose your words appropriate to them and you sound more sincere. Using highfalutin words is discouraged. In academic writing, you do not impress your readers because at the first place, their purpose is to learn and not to be amazed by your words. Again, know your audience. That way, choosing right and appropriate words will be an easy task for you. The language of your paper depends on your reader. Jargons are difficult to understand, especially if you're not part of their profession. Therefore, when you know your readers, you can choose the right jargon, especially when needed. Now, let's have the purposes in reading academic texts. These are locating a main idea, scanning for information, identifying gaps in existing studies, gaining more pieces of information, and deeply understanding an existing idea. So let's go for the first one. Locate a main idea. As a reader, it is important to know what the paper is discussing. When you know the main idea, it is easier for you to understand it. Next, scan for information. Some educators and readers are browsing your paper because they look for specific information in your paper. Third, identify gaps in existing studies. As future researchers, we try to look at the gaps in the present research so that we can address it in our own paper. Next, gain more pieces of information. Basically, we are reading academic texts because we want to learn more. And finally, deeply understand an existing idea. Academic texts are complex. That is why most readers need to do intensive reading to further understand an existing concept. Since we already know the purposes of reading academic texts, now let's discover the purpose in academic texts, especially when it comes to writing. I will present to you 3 purposes in writing academic texts. These are to inform, to argue a specific point, and to persuade. Let's go and let's discuss them one by one. As a writer, you want to contribute to the existing body of knowledge, and you can do it by researching more about it and sharing it to the community of learners and educators. That way, you are addressing the first purpose, which is to inform. Second, there are some points that you don't agree to what other writers have said. That is why you are conducting your own research to question the existing knowledge and to prove that your stance has stronger evidence. And finally, you want to persuade your target audience to believe in what you have written. Therefore, your writing is fully backed up with strong evidence so that your readers would believe your stance on a certain matter. Now, let's discuss the structure of academic texts. Okay. First, you must include information from credible resources which are properly cited. You do not cite whatever information you have seen on the net. As a writer, you have to verify information you have before you cite it in your own paper. Fake news is rampant. You can see it everywhere, so verifying information must be our most significant task as a writer. Also, we have to abide by the rules and follow a specific structure. For example, when citing an author and his or her words, we have to do it following the APA 6th edition, especially when we're writing a paper or a research paper. Second, include list of references used in developing the academic paper. We are all in the academe, and as a courtesy to the owner of the information we are writing in our paper, we have to acknowledge them. We can do it by writing their names and words or works at the reference part of our paper. This could also help us avoid plagiarism. And finally, 3-part essay structure, which includes introduction, body, and conclusion. This structure is always been observed, most especially when writing an essay. Following this makes your essay organized and easy to understand, especially on the part of your future readers. And that concludes my presentation for today. Should you have any questions and suggestions, feel free to email me at andreacarisatiana@gmail.com. By the way, here is the book I used and the website I visited to help me explain these concepts better. The next lesson will be uploaded very soon. Thank you for listening. I hope I was able to help you understand this course better. Thank you and God bless.